Talk about that when we come back. There's the headline: airport body scanners could give you cancer, warns expert. Daily Mail. When we come back, though, I want to shift into 9/11 again and the new bombshell developments and what the governor thinks we should do about this. We've got to all call for a new investigation, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Governor Jesse Ventura.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hello from eFoods Direct. The end of October is around the corner, and there's no shortage of frightening news these days. Global financial meltdown, saber-rattling with Iran and other nations, worldwide drought and food shortages, more than 40 million Americans on food stamps, and tens of millions unemployed. Have eFoods Direct help ease your fears this fall season with free shipping on all orders placed between now and November 1st. Every dollar you spend will buy food, and eFoods Direct will pay for the shipping throughout the continental United States. When you have a supply of delicious, nutritious food from eFoods Direct, your future is fearless and the shipping is free. That's free shipping on all eFoods Direct food products. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex. That's 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it. Others don't.
Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange Home Gain Gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com. HomeGain.com. Check them out today.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Okay, we only got the Gov for about 35 more minutes, because we've got to get through all these clips and have him comment on them. I want to point out to radio listeners, we have a free video stream up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com today, because hearing this is one thing. Seeing it is another. Special 911 cover-up simulcast with Jesse Ventura, the video link, tens of thousands already logged on. Get up there, watch it, capture this video. We're going to archive it later today at PrisonPlanet.tv. We got a big report coming up about this because Jesse's here, as he's done many times, but calling for a new investigation and challenging the mainstream media. Now, we've got a bunch of different clips. Some of these were already on the news. I'm going to play some of the old clips first. There's hundreds of these. Okay, and we've written countless articles about them and put them in my films. And Jesse's gone and done a 9/11 special report last year for his TV show and interviewed many of these same heroes, police and people like Willie Rodriguez, the janitor, all confirming this. Because you look at the whole area of 9/11, you dig in anywhere and you find lies, obstructions, 6 of the 10 commissioners saying a criminal cover-up by the Pentagon. That's a Washington Post headline. But Jesse, I don't want to paraphrase you, but I've heard you many times, and I agree with your statement, that the collapse of the towers, Building 7, that you think that's the biggest smoking gun. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know if it's the biggest one, but it defies Newton's law of gravity. It defies physics. And it gets pretty serious when you're defying physics. And physics tells you that those buildings it could not fall and collapse at that rate of speed and hit the ground, the way that they did. And then you look at them and you apply common sense. All the cement is pulverized. It's not collapsed. It's blown to dust. Well, that takes huge energy. And if those buildings had truly collapsed, like they said, the debris would have been way, way more. You would have had debris piled up probably a third of the height of the trade centers.
And by the way, you're not saying this as a plumber or a doctor. You are an expert in explosives. Explain that.
Well, I was trained by the Navy's best. I went through BUDS, basic underwater demolition SEAL training, and as you said earlier, Alex, underwater demolition and SEALs are synonymous. In fact, it was President John F. Kennedy that created the SEALs when he took the UDT swimmers, and he wrote an executive order allowing the Navy to go beyond the high water mark, which they weren't allowed to do before. And essentially that took the Navy frogman and made him a third element. Now the Navy frogman could not only be in the air and in the water, but he would also be on land. And so the acronym is SEAL, Sea Air Land Teams. And when you look at the destruction of these buildings, in order for them to collapse, they would have to have uniformly collapsed together, all at the same time, which is impossible. And then you look at the fact that molten metal was found underneath in multiple places, masses of it. Well, does anyone realize that, yes, you can heat metal up to where structurally it'll weaken, but you have to go over 3,000 degrees to melt metal. And there's melted metal here.
And, sir, we have video clips of the firefighters on the news that day saying it was like a foundry, and we have the NASA aircraft photos of months later, close to 3,000 degrees, incredible heat, and that goes to the thermite. Continuing, though, talking about 7, then we're going to start going to these clips.
Well, then you got Building 7, of course, which, there's the infamous BBC film where the reporter reports on the building falling and talks about it for 7 minutes and is doing this 30 minutes before the actual building falls, and the building is actually right behind her. And then you've got all the other contradicting statements, that the mayor said we're going to pull the building. The owner said that, we all agreed to pull the building. And then they're trying to say that in demolition terms, pulling it doesn't mean exploding it now. They always come back after the fact and say, well, no, what they meant was something else. When we meant pull the building, it meant we were going to evacuate it. Well, I've never, ever heard the term pull a building meaning to evacuate it out of people. That's a new term to me.
Well, we better get started because you just reminded me of the Silverstein clip, and now I've got limited time, and I'm thinking of all these...
Run some, Alex. We don't need me talking.
No, but everything you say is just backed up by so much proof. I don't want a listener, because I caught myself saying, get that clip too, and we'll never have time to get to them all, but we'll try to get to it all with Governor Jesse Ventura. Here is the first clip. Here is New York Fire Department, hours after it collapses, with commanders talking about the floors popping out and it being a controlled demolition. It was as if they had detonators, as the quote, and the beeps you hear are cuss words. None of this has been edited except for the cuss words under FCC rules. Let's go ahead and play it.
Yeah. What do we do? We made it outside. We made it about a block.
We made it at least 2 blocks, and we started running. Floor by floor, it started popping out.
It was if they had detonated. They were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down. I was watching it and running.
Just ran up West
And then you just sort of, this cloud of chasing you down.
Could not run it.
West Street. Could not run it.
So what'd you do?
I jumped behind a battalion car, I hit under the car, it was swinging.
All right. Now, let's go to another clip. You heard the governor. You heard me mention lava, molten steel, but we don't just have these firefighters on video to local television talking about molten steel like a foundry. When you hear foundry, that's where they make the steel, okay? You know, big, giant containers of molten steel. You don't just hear them talking about that. We have video from the news of the molten steel pouring out like lava. Governor Ventura, again, this is powerful info.
Absolutely, because what temperature does it have? It has to go over 3,000 degrees to melt steel. And here you've got a great deal of melted steel. How could a plane crashing into a building cause steel to melt?
All right, we're pulling up some of these other clips here. We're having a computer hiccup, but we'll get to that in a moment. But, I mean, again, the media says, well, steel could weaken and it could fall. Does it weaken and then turn into lava?
Well, Alex, I can even give you a personal story on that. It was like 2 to 3 weeks after the event that my wife and I were accompanied by Governor Pataki, and we were allowed to go right into the ground zero when the workers were there attempting to clean up shortly thereafter. And it didn't really dawn on me that day because, again, you're kind of numb when you go there, and it's like walking into where a hurricane is hit after the fact, and you see all the destruction and devastation. But I remember that day they had to suspend digging because they were running into pockets of molten metal and heat that was so dangerous that they weren't allowed to dig into it. And it didn't register with me that day. But now when I think back to it, I go, wait a minute. How could there be on the ground, everything happened 100 floors up in the air? How could there possibly be molten metal down under the ground?
Giant pools of it. And it's not just Governor Ventura saying that. Here's the firefighters. Here's that clip.
I think he just did it to... Who knew? To be honest with you, I think he might have thought that was it for us, too.
You'd get down below and you'd see molten steel running down the channel rails. Like you're in a foundry.
Yeah, like lava.
Like it was lava.
On a volcano.
There wasn't a lot of screaming.
All
there
right.
wasn't a lot of yelling.
Now, Governor, here's the key before we get to the new clips. There are literally 5 terabytes, thousands of these clips, and it's not somebody who's hurt or it's not a fire. The clips that NIST for 9 years has blocked, but under a lawsuit by the International Group on 9/11 Studies, they've been able to get these videos, and all the videos are firemen talking about molten steel, bombs, are firemen talking about all this incredible stuff. I mean, is that not evidence of a cover-up right there?
Well, obviously it is, because you notice that they don't include that in their report at all, do they?
No, they
when
worked...
NIST comes out, NIST has all this information in their possession, and yet their report chooses to ignore it and not even mention it. And
spend 9 years blocking lawsuits to get it.
Yeah, and now how much more simple can it be for someone out there to look at that and go, something's rotten in Denmark here?
Yeah, they didn't release a bunch of nonsensical video. The stuff they released is the FBI director of New York talking to firemen who say bombs were going off. And he said, yeah, I saw the bottom of the building blow out.
And why in their report wouldn't they write something to say that these people were crazy and wrong?
And
shouldn't they have at least addressed it and said, well, we had many reports of firemen and officials saying bombs were going off, and then give an explanation as to why these people were wrong?
Well, we not only have this new video that just came out yesterday, as they call for the video of the FBI director in New York saying this, we have the local newscast that day saying the FBI director of the city said they're looking at bombs. So we have it from both angles. This is all new, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the first new clip that they released 2 weeks ago, culling through these. This is a group of firemen with blood pouring out of their faces who have been seriously hurt. One guy's got his face all smashed in. And he looks up, and they're talking about how after the planes hit, they were going in, getting ready to go up, and there were explosions in the lobby. And then one fireman looks up and says, we got to get out of here. There could be bombs in all these buildings. Here's this new video that NIST didn't want any of you, including Governor Jesse Ventura, to see. Here it is.
What happened? We was in an explosion. We was in the lobby, and the third explosion, the whole lobby collapsed on us.
What was it like? What was it like?
Horrible.
It's like hell. You don't want to know.
The whole building just collapsed on us inside the lobby.
Is that a secondary explosion?
Yeah.